Hey, gang, here is your distressing Monday poll question at Smerconish.com. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree, mass shootings are a facet of American life that will never change. I'm a yes vote for reasons that I'll express in just a moment. There's always another way for you to win on the BetParx app and the Play Gun Lake apps. Do what I do, make your downtime fun time. I got to say, yesterday, I was so enthused and caught up in so many of those games. But in the case of Indianapolis, got to be careful how we say it, Indianapolis visiting Seattle and Phillip Rivers, I was so taken with it that I listened to most of that game as I was doing other things on the SiriusXM app. And yes, I had skin in that game. Right now, BetParx and Play Gun Lake, they've got great holiday offers for new users. Download the app and get a $50 casino bonus back on the new slot game that everybody is talking about. It's called Huff and Lots of Puff. You get up to a $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Play for real money, play hundreds of hot online slots, make futures sports bets. Do it right now on who's going to win it all in college and pro football this season. Try something completely different, the Play Gun Lake games with a live dealer and BetParx apps. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Maryland for BetParx, 21 and in Michigan for Play Gun Lake. Your casino bonus must be wagered. BetParx.com, PlayGunLake.com for the details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So the Monday poll question, distressing weekend. I mean, when you think about the news, holy smokes, Rob Reiner and his wife, that's the lead story today at Smerconish.com. The events from Sydney are just god-awful. And, of course, there's Brown University. There's Brown University where the update from the Providence Journal today, a shocker when I woke up and saw this. Authorities say that the person of interest detained in the Brown University shooting is being released. So they don't have someone in custody right now for these horrific events that played themselves out in Providence, Rhode Island. Mayor Brett Smiley, we want to inform the community that the individual will shortly be released. He said in a surprise briefing that took place at 11 o'clock last night, he encouraged anyone with information on the shooting to contact the police and acknowledged that the news was likely to cause fresh anxiety. What I note is that the only video that's been released still is the video where you see the guy clad in black from behind. And common sense tells me that if they had something that showed this individual from the front, they'd be showing it to us by now. There was an essay, and it's in the newsletter today at Smerconish.com. There was an essay in the Atlantic that caught my eye, written by an individual whose last name is Gonzalez. I'm not going to try the first name, Xochitl, but she is on the board at Brown. And writing for the Atlantic, she said this: I have always believed that the mass shootings that define our nation are preventable. But more and more, I have to wonder if that is not a bit of dated, magical thinking. And then she goes on to provide her rationale as to why she thinks that's the case. I can tell you why I think it's the case. It's because for so many years, I've sat here behind this microphone and talked about so many different incidents, and I've become resigned to the fact that this is it. Like, this is, I'm not saying this as if it's worth it, but this is the price that we pay for living in this country. I think it's the latest of many incidents that it won't end, and so frustrated am I in my belief that I have a script that I turn to on a day like today, and here it is. And you tell me if I'm mistaken to be so depressed that this is where I come from on a day like today. If you're watching on YouTube, you can follow along with me. Here we go. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Well, it's happened again. Today, we're monitoring the events at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, and extending our prayers to those students and residents. It appears this event will expand the list of mass shootings in America for calendar year 2025. This is the nation's 392nd mass shooting this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. A mass shooting is defined by the Gun Violence Archive as an incident in which 4 or more people are shot in a single incident, excluding the shooter, regardless of whether anyone dies. Separately, a database maintained by the Associated Press and USA Today in partnership with Northeastern University tracks mass killings. A mass killing is defined as an incident in which 4 or more people are killed in a single event, excluding the perpetrator. So all mass killings involving guns are mass shootings. Not all mass shootings are mass killings. I'm trying to be really specific with my language. With regard to mass shootings, there have been 392 in the United States so far this year, and at least 390 people have died in mass shootings this year. I'm filling in the blanks. 392, 390, as I go, because that's all it requires now. And so today, Brown University joins Columbine, Sandy Hook, the Vegas Strip, the Pulse nightclub, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, Virginia Tech, and so many other infamous mass shootings, many of which were also mass killings. I've given up thinking anything will change. Sandy Hook did that for me. If not then, when? Instead, I'm resigned to the fact that this is the price we pay for living in America. The cost of having the right to a firearm enshrined in our Constitution, at least as interpreted by the Supreme Court. We're a nation with too many weapons, in too many hands, and we lack the resolve to make significant change. We more tightly regulate drivers and automobiles than citizens with a gun. It's what sets us apart from the world. We're not the only ones with a mental health crisis, nor an outlier. With violent TV, film, and music, the world is flat. Pop culture crosses national boundary lines. What we have that they don't have is language that has been interpreted as ensuring each a right to keep and bear arms. That was affirmed in 2008 in the D.C. versus Heller case, a 5-4 decision in which Justice Scalia wrote for the majority. Scalia looked at the language of the Second Amendment and differentiated between the prefatory and operative clause. I read them together. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. If the right of the people to keep and bear arms is uninfringed, then why even mention the militia? Surely the sentence fragment was to be read as a whole. But Scalia and the majority said that the framers didn't intend to make it dependent on a militia. Scalia left states some latitude to tinker at the margins, but not upset the fundamental right of access. Maybe at some point in the future, Heller gets another look. After all, I never thought Roe versus Wade would be overturned, but it was with Dobbs. That won't happen with the current court, a 6-3 conservative majority. Maybe when Gen Z and millennials elect presidents who nominate progressives to the bench, Heller will get another look. The only other hope is a constitutional amendment, but that's a Herculean task, and there seems no prospect of change coming where it requires a 2/3 vote in both houses of Congress, or if 2/3 of states request by a convention called for that purpose. In the meantime, this is who we are. Today, it's Brown University. In the future, it will be another town and state. And so we will grieve. There might be a presidential visit, probably not in this instance. And then we will go back to our day-to-day until it happens again. That's what I think. And I'll now put the script, I'll correct a few typos, but I will put the script aside and pull it out on another day in the future, hopefully in the distant future. Agree or disagree, mass shootings are a facet of American life that will never change. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Please make sure you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel and set yourself up for notifications so that you never miss any of the video content. See you on radio.